Here it is. The news about the coronavirus. That's right. The news about the coronavirus. Yeah. The all in this together thing, I think it really holds true. In Cleveland, Alexa Mislowski, Spectrum News. No, I was not. The Ohio Department of Health is looking for more people to participate in contact tracing. These part-time health workers will help the state investigate small COVID-19 outbreaks in order to prevent the virus from spreading. Officials have posted two types of part-time jobs. The first is a contact tracer position that will pay $18.59 an hour to call and interview contacts of people who have been recently infected by coronavirus. The second is a supervisory job paying $20.81 to oversee those workers. You can call 1-833-4ASK-OD8 for more information. Governor DeWine announced plans to hire 1,800 contact tracers. Oakwood Public Safety Officer Steve Norris's life was turned upside down when he contracted COVID-19. Norris works 24-hour shifts as a police officer, firefighter, and EMT for Oakwood near Dayton. Not only was he away from work for an extended period of time, but unintentionally he brought the virus home with him, which spread to his wife, Tara, who was taking care of him while he was recovering. Norris says Tara experienced more severe symptoms of the virus than he did, which was one of the toughest things to deal with. Thankfully, both have recovered from the virus, and Norris has returned to work and is now donating plasma at the Community Blood Center. The news about the coronavirus.
God uses us in ways that
That's
we
right.
have no idea about.
The news about the coronavirus.
To help other people. When I look back at the last few months with COVID and with how it affected me and how it affected my family, but then on the other side of that, then being able to help other people who otherwise I would not have been had I not had the illness, it kind of puts it in perspective.
Norris says he's going to donate as many times as he can to help as many people as he can. And as an added bonus to a roller coaster ride of emotion over the last 2 months, he just virtually graduated from Cedarville University with his Master's of Ministry, so congrats to him. And while he doesn't plan on leaving the force just yet, he does plan to use what he's learned every day as he continues to help others. In the early days of COVID-19 in the U.S., it was clear that nursing homes and assisted living facilities were hotspots for coronavirus. University Hospitals has now come up with a playbook for assisted living facilities to help establish a plan to keep as many people as healthy as possible. The plan includes screening, separating the initial presence of the virus, developing a testing strategy, and turning those test results into isolation. Administrators at living facilities say implementing the playbook is working.
We're starting to step patients down into a quarantine unit. We're starting to see them on the other side of this virus. And we're starting to see their bodies heal based upon
the news about the coronavirus.
The physician task force team.
That's right. The playbook will be used in nursing homes and assisted living facilities all over Ohio. But those using it already say the playbook works best when it's used by people who care. Little Richard recorded Good Golly Miss Molly back in 1958. It would become a staple in the music world. As the rock and roll legend shot to fame in the 50s and 60s, he passed away today at the age of 87 from bone cancer. Joining me now to remember and celebrate this trailblazer is Rock and Roll Hall of Fame CEO Greg Harris. Greg, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Mary Lee. It's unfortunate circumstances, but you know, we mourn the loss of a family member, but we celebrate his legacy in the music he created and just the unbelievable trail he blazed for everybody else.
Absolutely, and there is a lot to celebrate. Little Richard was inducted into the first class of the Hall of Fame in 1986. How vital was he in the footprint of what would become the industry?
Yeah, he's one of the godfathers. Richard blazes a trail in the early 50s. He influences Elvis. He influences the Beatles. He influences the Stones. At one point, Jimi Hendrix is Little Richard's backup guitar player in his touring band. as a young man.
The news about the
Richard influences Elton
coronavirus.
John. He influences the Clash and punk rock. It was in his music. It was also in his attitude. He was uncompromising. He was who he was, and he just challenged everything and just blazed a trail. So, real innovator, the very definition of rock and roll.
Yeah, and you actually released a statement earlier more about him saying Richard's sound and style were the cornerstones of rock and roll, and his outrageous and rebellious spirit challenged the world to change. How much can we all learn from his talents and the life he led?
You know, I think that the lesson
Here it
in
is.
this one is that you
The
need to
news
be who
about
you
the
are.
coronavirus.
You need to express. He expressed great joy. He
That's
expressed
right.
great energy, and he
The
just
news
didn't hold
about the
back.
coronavirus.
Which is really, I think, words to live by. And he was very caring. He was very, very upfront about who he was, and he just let it fly.
Yeah. There he is in his element in this video, and you just see the pure joy. Do you think you all will honor him when you're able to do this class of inductees?
We will. You know, each year at the inductions, we do sort of a look back at those that we lost in the rock and roll family in the previous year, and he will certainly be receiving attention there. In addition, when we heard the news today, we immediately lowered the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's flag at halfway in honor of Little Richard. And when we play music all day long at the museum and out on our plaza, even while we're closed, we're playing his music today. We're featuring him at our website at rockhall.com. And we'll have special things hanging in our memorial gallery when we reopen again. And like all of the Ohio businesses, we're really looking forward to doing that safely, but soon.
Yeah, absolutely. What a nice tribute. Greg Harris, CEO of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, thank you so much for joining me and sharing those memories with us.
My pleasure. Thank you.
I'm Andrew Kozak with your Weather on the Ones forecast right here on Spectrum News 1. Appreciate you joining me as we turn the page on the second half of the weekend. Make sure to join me on Facebook at Andrew Kozak TV. Same deal on Twitter, Instagram, and on Snapchat. All right, so let's start off with a look first at the freeze warnings. Not for Cleveland Metro. For many of us, though, across northern and eastern Ohio, we will be down very close to, if not at freezing, by the time we get into the morning hours on Sunday. That freeze warning goes until 8 a.m. Then Sunday afternoon, we warm things up pretty quickly, introduce thunderstorms. So Sunday might be a weird day. I know it's Mother's Day, but it might be a weird day, feeling like winter to start, spring to finish. A better bet to get outside Tuesday and Wednesday for sure as temperatures climb, and we hold the rain off. Rain returns late next week. So let's get a few headlines going for you. Freeze warnings to the east, that's us. Patchy frost to the west, that's out west. We will continue to be looking at a really, big rush of air in the morning from the southwest. And that means that we start off cold, but we'll start to see those temperatures increase by about 5 to 10 degrees per hour Sunday morning. Milder with gusty southwest winds, of course, and then those afternoon storms. On Monday, cloudy and cooler, maybe a shower. Monday's not going to be so great, but Tuesday and Wednesday are going to be a lot better. Satellite radar shows we were dealing with not only cloud cover today, but also some lake effect snow flurries early on, sprinkles, and even a stray shower the rest of the afternoon. That comes to an end overnight as we bring in some clear to partly cloudy skies. Take a look at the skycast for Cleveland through Sunday afternoon. So overnight, we'll certainly have those mixed skies out there. Then what happens as we get into the morning hours, the clouds start to thicken up. Lunchtime temperatures will still be in the mid to upper 50s. Yeah, it's going to be kind of a warm, relatively speaking, day. And then by the time we get to about 5 is when the clouds really thicken up and we bring in some showers. We'll have some rain lasting through the night, Sunday into Monday. We'll take a look at that here with your Futurecast. Here's a look at 7 o'clock. Temperatures in the 30s, again, just east and south. Very close to, if not flirting with freezing. 50s by the afternoon. There comes around showers and thunderstorms. 6 o'clock at night. There's 8 o'clock at night. And some of those orange and yellows indicating a few downpours. We'll continue that and maybe even briefly end it as a period of flurries. They won't stick around, but just to show you that Monday starts off pretty cold. And then we start to increase our temperatures by the time we get into next week. So, Sunday's warm, relatively speaking. Showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. I'm tracking your 7-day plan coming up in less than 10 minutes.
diagnosed people with COVID-19 will soon be available. Coming up, the emergency authorization taking place to make the test easier to find. But before we head to break, here are some resources to hopefully help you and your family navigate the pandemic.
Weather in Ohio is changing all the time.
We get winter one day and 60s the next. At Spectrum News 1, our goal is refreshingly simple.
We bring you an accurate, reliable, and local forecast every 10 minutes.
We have an incredible, experienced team of people. We don't just know about the weather, we know about Ohio.
You never have to wait for your forecast with your Weather on the Ones.
Weather on the Ones every 10 minutes, exclusively on Spectrum.
The Weather on the Ones has got a large band of precipitation.
Your morning news, weekday mornings on Spectrum News 1. Sunday mornings, take an in-depth look at your community. In Focus with Mike Kallmeyer, a half-hour show dedicated to the important issues, driven to bring decision makers together, and committed to elevating discussion and debate. Your community, your state, your show. In Focus with Mike Kallmeyer.
Here it is.
At 10:30 on
The
Spectrum
news about the
1.
coronavirus.
Exclusively on Spectrum.
That's right.
Spectrum News 1.
The
A
news
new
about
kind
the
of news
coronavirus.
channel dedicated to refreshing storytelling and empowering communities across the Buckeye State. With your local forecast every 10 minutes and all of the essential news you need 24/7. Plus, in-depth shows and exclusives focused on your community. Always Ohio, always refreshing, always on. We are Spectrum News 1, exclusively on Spectrum.
Weather and the sky has always fascinated me, and I live with what I do. I come home, look at the weather forecast, and it's really a part of my life. It's not just a job, it is my passion.
I'm Chief Meteorologist here, Rick Delwell.
We have a very experienced weather team. We know what's important to Ohioans as they make their plans every day because we are part of the community. I'm Eric Elwell, Chief Meteorologist, Spectrum News 1.
A new coronavirus test has been approved that officials say could be the key to opening up the country. The Food and Drug Administration announced emergency authorization has been granted for antigen tests developed by Quidel of San Diego. The test can quickly detect fragments of coronavirus proteins in samples collected from swabs inside the nasal cavity. Right now, the only way to diagnose a person with COVID-19 is to test their nasal swab for genetic virus material. Though they are considered very accurate, the tests can take hours and they do require extensive specialized equipment. Once they're conducted, though, Quidel says results will come back in 15 minutes. The drug remdesivir will be delivered to 6 different U.S. states. The federal government announced it will be sending supplies of the first drug that appears to speed the recovery of coronavirus patients. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services will be delivering 140 cases of the drug to Illinois, 110 cases to New Jersey, 40 cases to Michigan, 30 cases to Connecticut and Maryland, and 10 to Iowa. Each case contains 40 vials of the drug. Gilead Sciences, the company that makes the drug, says it is donating its entire stockpile to help the United States fight the coronavirus. Some healthcare workers fighting the pandemic will be getting free vacations. American Airlines announced it's teaming up with Hyatt Hotels to donate trips to workers at Elmhurst Hospital in New York. More than 4,000 doctors, nurses, and assistants will be eligible for the vacations, which will be 3-day stays at locations in the U.S. and Caribbean. The company says it chose Elmhurst because staff members are working hard to save coronavirus patients. The hospital has increased its intensive care capacity by about 500%.
A freeze warning to start Sunday off for eastern Ohio. Then we're back into the 50s and 60s, and I'm tracking storms as we head into your Mother's Day. I'm meteorologist Andrew Kozak. Stay with us. Your forecast is on its way.
We know your Ford is an essential part of your life.
Even if you're driving less right now, maintenance and service is still important.
That's why your local Ford dealership and their technicians are here to help.
We can pick up your vehicle, service it,
And then return it right to your driveway.
A fast, simple service appointment. And, most importantly,
you don't need to leave your home to do it.
Call your local Ford dealer to make an appointment today. We'll handle the rest.
Every morning, the people of Ohio have the opportunity to wake up and start fresh.
We want to be a different kind of news channel, putting storytelling and community first.
Your morning news, weekday mornings on Spectrum News 1.
Well, I'm Franklin Graham. You may not know what the future holds. There's so much uncertainty in the world today, but I do know who holds that future, and that's God. He secured my future by sending his son, Jesus Christ, from heaven to this earth to take my sins and your sins to the cross. He died, shed his blood, he was buried, and God raised his son to life. He's alive, and he's willing to forgive you of your sins if you'll just ask him. If you've never trusted Jesus as your Savior, you can do that right now and be sure that your future is secure in his hands. Just pray this prayer. God, I'm a sinner. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I believe Jesus Christ is your son, and I want to trust him as my Savior, and I'm willing to follow him as my Lord from this day forward forever. And I pray this in Jesus' name. If you prayed that prayer, call that number right now. Call it. Jesus said, I'll never leave you nor forsake you.
With coronavirus spreading, people at higher risk must take extra precautions. You are at higher risk if you're over 65, or if you have an underlying medical condition like heart disease, chronic lung disease, diabetes, or if your immune system is compromised for any reason. If you're at higher risk, stay 6 feet or 2 arm lengths away from others. Better yet, stay home if you can. The choices you make are critical. Please visit coronavirus.gov for more information.
Whoops. I'm Andrew Kozak, back with your 7-day plan, coming up here in just about a minute 30. Thank you so much for joining us here on Spectrum News 1. Appreciate you. As we get into your Sunday, we start off with a freeze warning, and then we end up with the severe weather potential for the afternoon. Unbelievable, right? So your Sunday starts out feeling like winter, ends up more like spring. Main threat for the afternoon, by the way, it's just a marginal risk, but the main threat would be strong winds and maybe some hail, in addition to some heavy downpours. So the storm chances still up there on your Sunday, about 60%. Monday it goes down. You could see a scattered shower, but take advantage of Tuesday and your Wednesday, because those would be the better days of the upcoming next few for you to get outside finally. I know Sunday's Mother's Day, by the way, happy Mother's Day to all of you out there. But as we get into your overnight, we'll start things off with clear skies and partly cloudy skies toward the morning. So let's take a look at the freeze warnings. They're not for the Cleveland metro, but for those areas just to the east and south. What we're going to see here are temperatures that will be flirting with around 32 degrees. So just be careful out there. Make sure to cover any plants if you can. Even if you're just outside walking the dog, keep in mind Akron over toward Cleveland. First thing in the morning, temperatures could feel like the upper 20s. And then we all warm up. Strong southwest winds, and then we'll introduce those chances for storms. So here's your future guess. Sunday morning, we're fine. Even by lunchtime, we're warm, windy, and we're starting to get that rain coming in. Not by lunchtime, but by about 5 o'clock is when we'll have our first few drops. That lasts throughout the night and into the early part of your Monday. We could briefly end it as a period of maybe a few flurries, and then Monday morning is cold in the 30s, kind of raw and damp throughout the afternoon in the 40s. Once we get through Tuesday, things are a lot better. Sunday highs, 58 in Cleveland, 58 in Mansfield. Sunday's sort of a sneak preview of what spring should at least almost feel like. Still below average, we should be near 70. Now we'll get there. First Tuesday, Wednesday, 50s and mostly sunny to partly cloudy. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday were pretty much where we should be for temperatures, but we'll be tracking a chance for showers and some thunderstorms.
Retail stores will begin reopening in Ohio starting on Tuesday. It's part of Governor DeWine's Responsible Restart Ohio plan. And while stores will be implementing new safety precautions, some businesses wonder if that will be enough to bring shoppers in. Our Rachel Bonjovi has more.
We're going to start with Melody. Okay. Melody's in a cotton blend.
Very
This is a
long.
great little tunic blouse. It has the piano buttons. Little detailing. Look at how cute that is at the sleeves.
It's a different approach to selling clothes. Cindy Whitford, the owner of Cynthia's Boutique in Fair Lawn, has been modeling the clothes at her boutique on social media as a selling point in hopes of keeping her business afloat.
People don't understand this. You know, this is, we can't make up in a month what we lost. It's going to take months. It really, really did hurt us, and it still is hurting us, and it will probably hurt us through July.
The boutique's busiest months are March, April, and May, but the store has been shut down for the majority of that time due to COVID-19. Starting Tuesday, May 12th, retail stores in Ohio will be allowed to reopen. Whitford is putting measures in place to keep her shoppers safe.
Now, this big Purell is for their use. We have a few masks if people feel that they need a mask. We also will be selling masks and giving away with certain purchases for a special. We will then bag everything, tissue paper it. We will wipe off their card. I have gloves here, as you can see.
One of the biggest concerns people have right now when shopping retail is trying on clothes. Here at Cynthia's Boutique, she will be steaming every piece of clothing that someone tries on.
Steamers kill all viruses, so we will be using the steamer on clothing throughout the day. We will have these cute little scarves. You just get something, you put it over your head, even if you're wearing a mask, you pull your clothes on, and you have that extra layer that keeps you from the fabric.
This week, Whitford is launching an online store. She's also offering curbside pickup and delivery. She hopes this will bring her customers back, but she worries if people are even ready to shop at all.
It's a struggle. I mean, it's going to be a struggle, like I said, for a while. I just hope that people shop. If nobody comes in and shops, then the businesses cannot survive.
For Spectrum News, I'm Rachel Monjovi.
Spectrum News 1 continues as we approach the top of the hour. Up next, it's a special Mother's Day weekend for one brand new mom and her baby boy. We take a look at pregnancy during the pandemic coming up, and we'll also take a closer look at this cold front moving through the state. In the meantime, here are some fun facts about Ohio.
Ohio Fun Facts are sponsored by the Ohio Senior Health Insurance Information Program.
The American Red Cross urgently needs blood and platelet donations and asks healthy donors to schedule an appointment to give during this coronavirus outbreak. Patients are counting on life-saving transfusions. Visit redcrossblood.org.
When you need a vehicle you can count on, trust Toyota to be here for you.
Many Toyota service centers are open to help keep your vehicle in top shape, and may even offer no-contact vehicle drop-off. If you need a new vehicle, Toyota is offering 0% financing and attractive leases on our most popular Toyotas, like Camry, RAV4, and Tacoma. You can even shop and buy online from the comfort of your home.
It's our promise to you, today and tomorrow. Toyota.
This is what our communities are made of. The local businesses that keep them thriving, and the people who support their success. We stand by you. Spectrum Reach and Waymark have partnered to help by offering free videos for small businesses. Go to SpectrumReach.com/rebound to get started today. Tell your customers how they can support
This camera ran out of
during
batteries.
this challenging time. On behalf of Spectrum Reach and Waymark, thank you. Together, we will rebound.
When you need a vehicle you can count on, Trust Toyota to be here for you.
Many Toyota service centers are open to help keep your vehicle in top shape, and many even offer no-contact vehicle drop-off. If you need a new vehicle, Toyota is offering 0% financing and attractive leases on our most popular Toyotas, like Camry, RAV4, and Tacoma. You can even shop and buy online from the comfort of your home.
It's our promise to you, today and tomorrow. Toyota.
Your participation in the 2020 census determines how to allocate billions of dollars of federal funding. Your answers and personal information are strictly confidential. They help fund schools and education, accessibility, healthcare and first responders, affordable housing, and more. Complete the census in multiple languages, online, by mail, or on the phone. Go to 2020census.gov for information. Brought to you by these organizations.
It's 10 o'clock. Have questions about COVID-19? Visit coronavirus.ohio.gov.
It's Saturday. Thanks for joining us on Ohio's only 24-hour statewide news channel. I'm Mary Lee Melendez, and this is Spectrum News 1, where we're dedicated to bringing you the very latest on the coronavirus. According to the Ohio Department of Health, from April 15th through May 6th, more than 39% of the state's total coronavirus deaths come from long-term care facilities. Electric scooters have made their way back to the streets of the state's capital. Two companies have dropped their scooters back into Columbus, saying they will be cleaning them. The National Sports Collectors Convention has been postponed from July to December. The convention brings together collectors of baseball cards, jerseys, artifacts, and more. It will be held in Atlantic City, New Jersey this year. In 2022, it will be held in Cleveland. And we'll have more on how our communities are reacting to the pandemic in just a few moments. But first, let's go ahead and get a check of your weather on the One's forecast.
Starting the second half of the weekend with another cold morning. In fact, some areas will still be looking at a freeze warning, mainly in eastern Ohio. Then everybody has a chance for showers and even some strong thunderstorms as we head into the afternoon. So it feels like winter to start. Will definitely feel like spring to finish with warmer temperatures. There's the freeze warning. Doesn't quite hit Cleveland, Columbus, or Cincinnati, but the east side for sure, bordering Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and northeastern Kentucky. Once we get into the mid-morning, temperatures will warm back up. These were your Saturday highs. In many cases, 20 to 25 degrees colder than where we should end up for this time of year. And that's mainly in the upper 60s and low 70s. Sunday, a little better, but we will track some afternoon thunderstorms. Cincinnati, 63, Columbus, 64.